It's me. I'm back. Like I said, here for part two of the crossover. This time it's on Flash. And I guess all you need to know from Flash, if you don't regularly watch it and don't mind being spoiled, is Cisco found out about the effects of Flashpoint for him, which were losing Dante. And Caitlin is still has powers but is hesitant to use them. And Wally has speed, has now become a speedster, and really wants to be a hero, but everyone's being overprotective of him. Oh yeah, and Barry is beating himself up hard about the fact that he caused Flashpoint and changed a lot of shit. Anyway, so, oh yeah, and a new Harrison Wells, third one for the record, who they just call HR, who's a more upbeat, dumber version of Harrison Wells. He is dumber. If you watch the show, you know what I mean. He's not like dumb, but he's not like super smart like the other Welleses of the multiverse. But anyway, so our episode begins with Ollie and Barry against basically everyone from Legends, Flash, and just Supergirl herself. Oh yeah, and Arrow. Except, and I realize why they did it monetarily, but story-wise, I don't get it. Why weren't the new recruits from Arrow in this? And why weren't some of the legends, like Steel and Vixen? It's just like, duh. More help the merrier. But anyway, that being pushed aside, the Barry and Ollie are against everyone else, and they're about to get their butts handed to them. Then we flash back to what seems to be a normal Flash episode. Sorry if you can hear that. And so, anyway, the whole team is together, but there's clear animosity between Barry and Cisco. And they're talking about Wally and how, for the betterment of him, because they're being overly protective, they're gonna keep secrets from him and not allow him to train for some fucking reason. I don't get it. And apparently neither does Cisco, but he goes along with it anyway. And then, as they're doing this, they get a call. Well, and it's a meteor is about to hit Earth. So Barry goes to investigate, finds out that it's the Dominators that we've heard about. It's their ship crashed. Then we jump a little forward. Barry is actually talking to Lila from Arrow, who's the head of Arius, remember? And she says, can't do this. But she says he can't do this alone. So he's like, okay, shit, I'll go grab my friends. So he grabs the core team of Arrow, which, anyway. And then we see the legends, but the legends who have already been on Flash and Arrow. A little bit salty about the missing people, but anyway. Then they get together. Felicity finds a way to send a message to the legends. Legends come. Some of the legends come. And then Barry and a reluctant Cisco go to Earth. I think they said 32 or 35, which is apparently Supergirl's Earth. And I so got it wrong yesterday. And it was indeed 12 is HR's world. So 32 or 35 is Supergirl. Oh well. So if they go there, they grab her. She comes back. It's cool to see her interact with the team, especially Diggle, who's like, whoa. And so they group together and they run training against Supergirl since she is an alien. But none of them can make a dent in her. She's just like, wham! And she just kicks them to crap during training. To the point where she's feeling bad about it. Because, it's Kara. And then Stein and Jax tell Barry and Ollie about the message that we had hinted at a few episodes now on Legends of Tomorrow from Future Barry, which is basically don't trust younger Barry because of Flashpoint. And so he has to tell them what Flashpoint is and what he did. And then we cut to later on. Cisco finds it and basically forces Barry to go ahead and tell the team, even though Ollie told him not to. Which, I don't know why Cisco's beating him up on it. As far as I remember, he wanted to, but Ollie told him no. Anyways, team finds out, they start distrusting Barry, especially when the whole baby Sarah, baby John thing comes into question, which I'm still a little pissed about. And so, this is a lot of shit to just try to sum up quickly, so forgive me if I stumble. So, the whole team of different heroes, minus Barry and Ollie, and the civilians of the teams, go off to the Dominators who have kidnapped the president and General Akbar. Anyone? It's a trap. So they get mind controlled to start attacking them. They're the guys, and then we flash to now. Flashback is over, and Ollie and Barry are about to get killed by their friends until boom! Wally comes in and saves the day. But then Supergirl goes and knocks him the fuck out. Which enforce to everyone, well, to his mom and dad and sister, blah, sorry, that he's not ready for it. Which he so fucking is, because he's not ready for it because you won't train him. I can get into it later, but I love Flash, but there are just a few things here and there that piss me off. That is one of them. The other, I can maybe talk about later. But anyway, it's only two big things right now, currently. So, they use that as a one-up, and Cisco and Felicity find a little beacon thing that turned them into being mind-controlled, and so Barry uses a mindless, angry Kara to destroy it. And boom, everything is fine within the team. They're all rejoicing, taking a breath, they're all together, and then boom, the Arrow characters plus Ray, I believe, maybe Firestorm, I don't know, get kidnapped. And that's how it ends. And we know why they selected those particular people. Because they want to do they want to do a dream sequence for next week. Where we see the Arrow characters in a world where Ollie never got on the boat. Which means that we're going to get Laurel. And we're going to get Mama and Dad Queen. And we're going to get Deathstroke, who I believe is not played by Manu Bennett, and several other returning people, because it's the 100. Yet, instead of doing like a nice twist here and there, like Prometheus is because of Flashpoint, so he's Robert Queen, who survived thanks to Flashpoint, or he survived and is not Prometheus, or anything, we get a dream sequence. Which I will rant more about next week, because the whole Katie Cassidy thing has got me pissed, because they kept teasing that, and yet it's a fucking dream sequence. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about negative. I don't want to focus on negative right now. I want to focus on positive. But just quick side note, now you know why tomorrow I might go and do a rant. Anyway, this was good overall. It had a few missteps here and there, but there were some really cool things. And I like how we got more for some certain characters within this. Like Stein, we finally find out who the girl is that he keeps keeps getting in his head. And we find out that it's not a new wife, it's not a second wife, it's a daughter. He now has a daughter. And they weren't clear if it was because of Flashpoint or because of things that he did. But my guess is that when he went back in time this last time and met himself, he gave himself a pep talk about sticking with the wife. So I think he stuck with the wife so hard that he wasn't distracted by work enough to not have a kid. So they do have a kid. But Stein's a little freaked out about that, which is reasonable, because all of a sudden, boom, you have a kid you never knew about. But we did have and there are a few other things here and there. But the focus was on Flash characters. Like, we now have Wally and HR secretly training to become Kid Flash. We have Barry starting to forgive himself, kind of, and work towards a better future. And we have Caitlin, who is on the road to becoming a hero. Because I really hope that by the end of this whole crap with Cisco and this whole stuff with Caitlin means that both of them will be full-on superheroes by the end of the season. And my prediction is, I never get to say this because I don't talk about Flash, but my prediction for Flash is that the whole Killer Frost versus vibe that he had in a previous Flash episode is really a training session. And overall, I really like this episode. Sorry if I went on a little too long. This was a big crossover episode. Unlike yesterday, where it was just the crossover was at the end, this was all crossover. And tomorrow will be half crossover, half the 100, from what I hear. And then Legends will be full on crossover to end it all. And tell me what you think. Do you guys like me talking about Flash? Thinking about maybe sometime talking about Flash. Legends. This season will be ending soon. So maybe I can fill some of that void with talking about Flash next week and when it comes back. And next week I can do it because there's going to be no Super Bowl. So I could weave Flash into my reviewing schedule if you guys wanted. Let me know in the comments below. I might do next week just to test it out on testing out a normal episode, not just a big crossover. And speaking about the crossover, I will hopefully see you tomorrow, where we will be talking about the third part of the crossover / Arrows 100. And brace yourselves, people, because I'm pretty sure, based on this episode wrap-up thing, that tomorrow I'm going to rant even more. But till then, see ya.